Doug MPA back with another video. So guys, I did that story the other day about how Gen Z are bringing their parents to job interviews. And that got me thinking. I haven't done a compilation about women that hate job interviews. Yes, because there's a lot of backlash about having to actually dress up for a job, show up to a job in person, turn your camera on during a virtual job interview. So I got this quick compilation about women who don't like job interviews. This is probably going to be the first of a series. Before we get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into this first one, shall we?
I feel like that interview question where if you're a person that has worked multiple jobs and they ask you, well, why did you leave those jobs? Why did you work so many? Like, obviously, I can't be like, oh, I have a little thing called mental illness.
Right off the bat with a banger, you guys. And look at you guys know Doug and BA hates these septum rings, man. This is the worst thing. The worst. This is one of the biggest red flags a woman can have is this septum ring. She has a hardware store in her nose, and she has a mental illness, mental health issues, guys. Come on now. And her hashtags. Hashtag job. Hashtag America. Hashtag interview. Hashtag interview questions. Hashtag FYP. Hashtag retail. Hashtag Burlington. Hashtag Ross. Hashtag TJ Maxx. Hashtag PR, like Puerto Rico, I think. Hashtag LGBTQ. Hashtag job experience. Hashtag work. Hashtag work as in WERK. And hashtag twerk. Let's go.
And it makes me very unstable sometimes. I've worked like 6 different retail jobs and I quit them because I hated the people. And so then they're like, they want experience. But then when you have the experience, they're like, well, we can't trust you because you be switching jobs too frequently.
Sounds good to me. You're not showing any kind of follow through. And you're stuck in retail. And you won't stay at a retail job. Are you guys hearing the same thing here? I don't understand what her deal is. Because as a person who's had to do hiring in the past, this all sounds perfectly plausible to me.
So then I can only gain experience from one job and sitting there for years and years and years?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better to have versatile experience between different kinds of things and systems in retail stores?
No.
And then they see you and they're like, well, you're not going to stay committed to a job. Sorry, I didn't plan on staying on TJ Maxx for the rest of my life, or Burlington, or Ross.
So now you're going to be homeless. I'm telling you guys, women are allowed to navigate life like this. And you know what? Guys can try it, but they're going to get audited real quick. You're going to be homeless, you're going to be a bum, and you're going to not get laid. Let's look at case number 2 with this lady. Let's go.
I'm in the parking lot at work and I had to step away for a little bit to go stress cry in my car. So for the interview that I had last week, for some of you who already know, I said that I did really well and I was so excited to be invited back for another interview. These people literally said, your resume is perfect, your experience is great. Our only concern is that you don't have a tech background, but that isn't something that we couldn't teach you.
So first off, a good job on this girl for looking for a job with a job. Guys, when you're young especially, always look for a better opportunity. Don't just sit there and wait for them to promote you, because it's probably not going to happen. You need to be looking for better opportunities, and we are in the most upwardly mobile job market ever. You may have to move companies. You may have to move cities, guys. Always look for a better opportunity. Don't just sit there in your chair expecting them to take care of you like they used to do back in the day, because they won't. Second, I did a video on my channel where men are more likely to apply for jobs that they're not qualified for and get them. So this girl did the right thing. Guys, apply for jobs that you think that you're capable of doing and let them tell you no. Don't just think that you don't have enough experience, especially with the staffing shortages nowadays. Most jobs will teach you what you need to know on the job. So I just want to give this lady credit, and we're going to keep going.
And I should have known that I probably wouldn't get a call back, because I had tried to send a follow-up thank you email with the recruiter, because they didn't include the emails individually. And I sent it out. I sent a request for their emails and then didn't hear from the recruiter. Sent the thank you to the recruiter the next day for each individualized, again, interviewer, with the hopes that he would forward it.
That's another good thing to do, guys. After a job interview, the day after, send a thank you email saying, thank you for the opportunity to be able to interview. I know that I'll be a good fit for your company. I look forward to hearing from you. Always send that, guys, the day after. And to me, it sounded like they already had someone lined up for this job, because there could be a multitude of factors as to why you don't get a job. The best that you interview for, the best thing you can do is interview for multiple jobs, do your best, and just keep it moving. I've had jobs offer. I had so many job interviews I did at one time that I got offered a job or two, and I had to look up what job I was actually being offered. So you never want to one-itis your job interviews, guys. Make sure you have multiple job interviews, multiple job offerings at once.
Didn't hear anything. And today is Monday. I figured I would hear something today, and I did. And they said they went with someone who they felt had experience that was closer to what they were looking for.
Okay. And they have the right to say that. It sounds to me like they had someone already lined up. But they have the right to say that, young lady. Sorry. That's the breaks.
And I'm just so frustrated. Like, why reach out? Why do they do this? Why reach out if you already know that my background isn't conducive to what you need in order to fill the role? Why do you guys keep wasting my time?
Wasting your time? Apparently, she hasn't done a lot of interviews. She looks young. Guys, you get used to it. And here's the thing. A lot of women, since women don't approach men in the dating market, job interviews are a lot of times the first time they ever feel rejection, guys. Us men, we get used to it. I didn't get the job. I got to keep on moving. But a lot of these women, they will fall apart after a job interview, after they don't get a job from a job interview. I always say it. Women will never experience a tenth of the rejection that the average man goes through. And most guys won't be crying in their car about some job that they didn't get offered after a job interview.
My time and all of my emotional energy. Just wasted. I'm tired of interviewing. I'm tired of being on 10 all the time, on 10 at work, on 10 for these people, and none of this extra energy that I'm expelling all the time is leading to anything.
That's just, you gotta learn to deal with rejection, young lady. You have to keep applying until your resume gets on the right desk. Especially nowadays, keep applying and get used to it, because if you want to get to the top, you're going to face a lot of rejection.
And I think the worst part about this for me, because I've gotten a lot of rejection, and it's, for the most part, I've been unfazed, because again, not everybody is going to say yes, and that's fine. But for this one specifically, I did so much extra research. I spent so much time practicing, and it went beautifully. It literally could not have gone any better. And so I gave my best, and it still wasn't enough.
See, I don't like that statement right there, because once again, I've done a lot of interviews in my life, guys. I can't even tell you how many. And I've been on the other side of the desk hiring people. There's nepotism, there's cronyism, there's all sorts of reasons why you didn't get this job that could have been other than your best wasn't good enough. Stop thinking about this. Move forward, young lady.
So now what? And now I've got to go back into work and wait on these people and act like there's nothing wrong. Sick of this.
Men have to deal with rejection all the time. men that have long, great careers probably couldn't tell you how many job interviews that they thought that they had in the bag. You know, they got the wink and were like, "Oh yeah, buddy, that was great." And then you get the Dear John letter. You know, I just freaking aged myself. I don't know how many of you know what a Dear John letter is. A Dear John letter is one of those generic responses saying, "You didn't get the job. Sorry about that. Try again." So, ladies, you're out here with the men now, fighting in the public sector, corporate America. This is what you get. Okay, let's look at our last case here. Let's go.
I just got out of the worst job interview I have ever been in. This might be even extra shaky because I am shaking. I am so incensed.
That's a good way to start the video, right? The interview was so bad. I'm shaking. I'm so incensed.
So things are looking really dire for me. So I decided to just kind of go back to my retail roots.
That means she's broke, guys. She's so broke that she has to go back to retail.
And in a time of desperation, and because they were hiring, I applied to be the assistant manager. And I'm going to say the name of the company. I applied to be an assistant manager at like a Domino's near me.
So, guys, I guarantee you, she has a degree in what are the 6 degrees that are useless that women always get that I say on my channel? Say it with me: psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, some kind of studies degree, so gender studies, African American studies, Asian studies, or communications. And now she's applying for a job as an assistant manager at Domino's. But hey, you know what? She's humble enough to do it, so give her credit for that.
I cried while I did it. And honestly, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know if I could take this. Just generally, like, I mean, it's a job, and a job is good, but I've worked so hard to not do that. But I was like, okay, like, I'll prepare for it. It could be really great. There are a lot of opportunities that I could do with that, especially because I have hospitality. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my best foot forward and go for this. So they scheduled it for 1:30. So I, sit down right before 1:30. I look at my notes. I prep. I triple check all of my questions. I review my resume, the usual. 1:30 comes and 1:30 goes. And then it's 1:35. And then it's 1:40. And then at about 1:42, and mind you, they scheduled this for 15 minutes. So it's 3 minutes until the end of this interview. They finally call.
Okay, so before we move forward, her hashtags are hashtag laid off, hashtag job hunting, hashtag human resources, hashtag Domino's Pizza, hashtag corporate life, and hashtag elegance. Didn't she say that she was desperate? She's desperate. She's broke. She needs money. So she should have taken this job regardless. But did she? Let's keep listening.
I answer the phone. Hello, this is Miranda. Hi, this is Carrie from Domino's. Are you still looking for a job? In that tone of voice on the phone. And I was like, hello, Carrie. Yes, I am. Like, thank you for your time. Well, the shifts are from 9 to 7 and 11 to 1:30 a.m. Do those work for you? And I was like, yeah, I would prefer to have a day shift. I
would prefer to have a day shift. He's saying that to you because if you're okay with the shifts, he's going to offer you the job right there.
I have another little job on the weekends. I would prefer to work a day shift. That is not how it works. Oh, okay. I would have 3 of each. So I get 1 day off.
Sounds like retail management to me. Retail managers work long hours, guys. Restaurant managers do too. Restaurant managers, retail managers work long hours for not a lot of pay.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't work like that. The GMs get the day shifts. Okay. So I wouldn't prefer that. I guess this job isn't for everyone. And I said, okay, thank you so much for your time. And as a tip from someone who's in HR, when you say you're going to call at 1:30, you should call at 1:30. And then.
So she's desperate. She's broke, needs a job, and she's not going to take it because she doesn't like the shifts, and she's going to be snarky at the end. And not only that, the guy works at Domino's Pizza, and this TikTok was in in 2023, you can see the craziness that goes on at these fast food places. He doesn't have the time to placate to your feelings. He probably had 2 or 3 people call out sick. He's slanging pizzas and the register all by himself. He has people like you trying to interview with an attitude. Come on, man. And let me just say, ever since the cough, I give fast food, restaurant, and grocery workers a wide berth because they went through a lot and they're still going through it. And guys, look around. I guarantee you'll still see a whole lot of now hiring signs everywhere because people still don't want to work in the service industry. The cough forever changed the service industry.
And I hear him on the other like, stuttering over himself. And I
What's so bad about stuttering?
was like, okay, well, thank you. Well, and he went to talk some more, and I just hung up on him. I have never, there was no greeting, no hello, just to the point and in the gruffest, rudest voice I have ever heard.
He's a manager at Domino's Pizza in 2023. What'd you expect? He probably got there at 7 o'clock in the morning and he ain't leaving till 11 o'clock at night.
And this leads me to, I know we're all, some of us are in some places that we're not proud of, but if a company does not show up on time to the interview, you know how they're going to treat you for the rest of your time with the company. So just quit. Don't give them the time of day.
Guys, women are having to learn about these job interviews, being out here in the job market. And this girl, you'd rather, you're desperate, you need a job, you need money, and you didn't take the job because a guy was rude to you over the phone. He probably would have offered this woman the job right there if she would have said that she was okay with the shifts. But no. So now she's still broke. This is the first compilation. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.